Hello everyone and welcome. Today we have a speed build, but not my usual speed build. I am doing a shell challenge. So this is the 3-in-1 shell challenge from Lady Annette, and this is a little bit different for me because like the shell is all made in the terms that it was painted and like had all the windows and like was all laid out and had the roofing and stuff. And I've never done a shell challenge like this, so this is is a little bit different for me, as I mentioned. And like it's like partially furnished as well, so it's got like some of the kitchen laid out and a little bit of the bathrooms and stuff. So yeah, I found that really interesting. Like actually surprisingly difficult for me. Like I found it because, you know, when you're starting from scratch, like even with a shell where you're working with some walls and you have to make it, you know, work, that's cool because you're still like making it your own, and like you're choosing all the colors and you're choosing the room shapes and that sort of thing. Whereas with this, like all the shell was made, so like all the rooms are made and everything like that. And I wanted to honor the shape of those and what was already done by keeping them. So I think I maybe slightly moved one window and yeah, I think that's the only thing I really moved with what was already existing. Otherwise I wanted to keep what was existing and just work around that and just add the furnishing from there. So yeah, so without having the decision on what the colors of the rooms were and the type of furnishing and stuff, you know, I was just sort of having to think about how to match what was already there in a way that suited my style. So yeah, that was quite an interesting challenge. Yeah, I hadn't done, as I mentioned, I hadn't done anything like that. You know, I've always done shell challenges where I'm starting from, you know, you just have the shell and you do the outside and you do the inside and it's all yours. Or I've done like a room decoration, which is part of a larger collaboration. But once again, it's like an empty room and you're doing the colors and you're doing all the decoration. Whereas here, like the colors are already in place and some of the decoration is already in place, and I've just got to add in my touches. So yeah, very interesting. By the way, this is up on the gallery for Lady Annette. I will put the information in the description for you guys. The shell challenge will be going on until January 31st. So there's still a couple weeks left of the shell challenge, I think, from when this goes to air on my channel. So if you do want to take part of it, it is a 3-in-1 challenge, and there's like some different things that you can do. I think you can like decorate it in the style that you think Lady Annette would do it. You can decorate it in your style, or you can decorate it in the style of the tenants. I think that's how the challenge works. I just kind of did it in the style that worked, I guess. I don't know. I just kind of did it in the style that I wanted to do it in, but in a style that worked with the building. So it's kind of like a bit of an in between those two. Yeah, I think you need to do it with the packs that Lady Annette has. So it is a limited pack, but she has got like a good chunk of the packs. So yeah, you do have a lot of options as far as the pack goes, but there are some pack limitations. So yeah, but it was quite a fun challenge, and if you want to do it for yourself, I mean, it is up on the gallery, and as I mentioned, I'll put her details in the description below, so that if you want to join in and do it for yourself, give it a try, then you should be able to do that. So I'm just using like the barbecue that came with, which pack was, although why barbecue would come with a like kids pack, stuff pack, I don't know. It's just what's in my head. I just remembered it as being like a kid-related stuff bag. So, anyway, I think it's a cute barbecue, which is where I was going with that. And I'm pretty sure that's just the eco lifestyle, what are they called? Lounges. That's the word I'm going for. So I wanted to do something different in each of the units, and I wanted to have like a different vibe and color theme with each of the units. So, in this unit here that I'm decorating, it's going to be white in a different color, and I'm going to add a little pool in there. You know, lucky duckies. Maybe they're the owner. Maybe it's the owner and the next to one is the unit that they rent out, or maybe it's just like, I don't know, two different households rent out 2 different lots or just own the lots. I don't know. I mean, you can mix it up and do as you please, I guess, with that. Yeah, interesting mix. And that's the horse ranch bench there in beside the table, and just adding some clutter to the shelves above the barbecue. Anyway, so I'm doing different vibes with each of the units. So one of the units has a double room and a kids room, and the other unit has a double room and a teenager room. So yeah, so the different kind of family setups in each of the houses. So this one, because it's got the kids room, will have like a bit more of the kids clutter around the place. So I've got little bits and pieces that go on the shelves, like a table where you can put your goodies, and then there's like a kids tub and stuff. Now there were these two things at the front. I kind of assumed that they were for the water heater and the fuse box, but because Lady Annette at the time didn't have the Ferrent pack, I decided to use it as a laundry storage, which I realised after, like when I was going into the house, that one of the rooms that was in the house was supposed to be the laundry, but I just made it into an extra bathroom. I did like change in the bathrooms, one of the bathrooms anyway. I think I just changed it a tiny bit, but otherwise I really did try to keep the furniture as is, and that was really hard. But anyway, I behaved myself. I tried to stick with what was there, you know. Tried not to break all the rules. Sometimes I'm not a very good rule follower when it comes to these things, mostly because I don't read them properly. I've been known to do shell challenges and like change all the walls around and you know, touch all the external walls, and you're not supposed to. Anyway, I'm not the best behaved with it. And oh, you know what I really liked is that I actually used the washing lines from Laundry Day in this one. I hardly ever remember to use those, because if you got a washer and dryer, I usually don't bother with a washing line, but I did in this case because I thought, you know what, if they're both kind of family units, which I think they are, then having an outside line makes sense. I mean, we have a washer and a dryer and an outside line. I don't ever use the dryer, to be fair, because I don't really like dryers, but don't ask me, it's a whole thing. But yeah, I don't really like dryers, so I tend to use like the outdoor, or we've got an indoor washing line as well for drying things rather than the dryer. I just, you know, if you've got the wind and the sun, why waste money on energy on a dryer? You know, dryers are there for emergencies, not for every day. Oh dear. Anyway, that's me. So, oh yeah, and each of these units had like a little bit of personality. Like this unit here, which is the right unit, that is like for a gardener family. So when I did the backyard, I had like a lot of garden stuff. So yeah, I wanted to make that like definitely a vibe for this particular family. They're definitely in the gardening and getting in the outdoors. This family, on the other hand, which is from the left unit, they are less into gardening, and it's more about the little family life. So she's got younger kids, so more into spending time with her child and developing them into their next stage in life, as you do in The Sims. So just getting a little bit more garden into the gardening unit, because that's definitely, you know, the parent here is a little bit older and definitely got a little bit more spare time to spend out in the garden and doing their hobbies. Okay, so moving on, we are into the first unit, which is the left unit. Now this was I'm pretty sure was supposed to be the laundry. I converted it to a second bathroom. So each of the units has 2 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms, because yeah, I converted it. Oh, and I did move the fire sprinkler system. I moved it in behind the fridges, because I didn't want it in the middle of the bathroom. So yeah, I did try so hard not to shift things around, but I had to in this one. I deleted a counter so I could put in a toilet. Because I made it into a bathroom and it wasn't supposed to be. Oopsie daisies. But that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Take a little bit of creativity. I'm sure Annette won't mind. By the way, if you haven't followed Annette I know she's on Twitter, and I think she's on YouTube as well. So yeah, I'll put her details in the description below. But she's a really lovely lady and a lot of fun and a wonderful simmer. So worth checking her stuff out, and I know she's definitely up on the gallery as well. So I'm just using the big saucer lighting. Oh yeah, I did change the wallpapers. Maybe I wasn't supposed to. I don't know, they were plain walls. I figured, man, you can probably change it. I didn't change like any of the counters. I left them as is, and I wanted to change them. So there you go. I wanted to put something fancier in. But I guess like having the, no, I didn't want to put something fancier in. I just wanted to put, not base game in, basically. But you know, that's just my love of using not base game when I can. Slowly working out the colours that I wanted to go for, because I just kind of, when I started the bathroom, I didn't really have an idea as to what colour this was going to end up being, because you have your basic colours and then you kind of bring in your pops of colour, the thing that's going to make the unit unique to, those particular Sims. And I'm slowly getting a yellow vibe. And when I made the kitchen, the bathroom, I'll actually go back and fix it go back and fix it at the end of the build, because I realized that, when I started the bathroom, I actually had a whole lot of different colors in there. So I think that's like blue and grays and stuff. Yeah, you can sort of see the different colors there. Whereas I've just started to I found that rug and I thought, you know what, it actually works really nicely. So I'm going to start bringing yellows in here with like the couches and stuff like that, and make that work. So getting that underway, just creating like a little living area. I mean, this isn't the most spacious like space. Maybe it was supposed to be like a one bed. I did add an extra bedroom in. This was supposed to be a one bedroom, I think, but yeah, I added like a kid's room in. Oh well. Sorry, Annette. I tried my best to not change things, but I couldn't help myself. I just had to. I did try. I tried so hard. I really did. Anyway, I found the painting and then I was like, you know what? That doesn't work with that. So delete that, and then that works with that. It's kind of like, not like a bright yellow. It's kind of more a mustardy yellow, which is an in colour for this season, to be fair, but it is a hard colour to work with. But luckily the walls were white, so, you can kind of pretty much do any colour you want and it should work. But I think like tonally, those yellows worked. I don't know about the bacon and eggs breakfast picture there, but I never use it, and I thought, well, you know what, it kind of feels like the kind of kitchen where it would have something like that, so put it up there. And that was the window that I moved. I just it was kind of like going through the walls a little bit funny, and then that meant I had to move like the outside a little bit, I think, or maybe I was able to get away with just not moving it. So in the hall, just added a picture, kept it pretty simple, and added the Eco Lifestyle hall table there. Put a little something on there. There we go, a little something onto the hall table, and then and I did have some clutter kits to work with, so that was nice. Always appreciate a clutter kit. Just those little extra bits and pieces that you can shove in around the place. So then I had the last couple of bedrooms. By last couple, I mean the extra bedroom that I threw in there. So this is like a toddler room, and it has a kid's bed in there as well. So they've got a couple of kids, as well as either a single. I kind of pictured this as a single mum with two kids. That's how I was picturing it as I was building it. So a mum who was making ends meet, but it wasn't always easy, and she has like a toddler and a slightly older kid, and they're doing the best they can. And I thought that apple clock was super cute. I don't think I've ever used it before, so I was like, I have to use that apple clock, because it actually worked really nicely with the little toddler bed as far as the colors go as well. So I was like, yeah, perfect. And then I found the tree decal, and I was like, hang on, I can put the apple on the tree just like that, and it's going to be super cute. So I did that. I just couldn't stop myself. I was like, I'm going to put the apple on the tree, and you can't stop me. So just doing a few more little decals around the place. I mean, I imagine that they don't have a lot of money for decorations and toys and that sort of thing, but decals aren't something that are particularly expensive, and, adds a little bit of colour to the room without going overboard as far as costs go. So it's a nice bright colourful room, which I really liked. And I love that it still brings sort of the orangey yellow sort of theme colour through to the room, but still keeping with, you know, a kid's vibe as well, which I really like. So just getting a few pictures in there. Nice. Oh, that's the cats and dogs little chair, which I think worked really nicely. So it's definitely a little bit more sort of like, it's kind of musty yellow, kind of orange in the living area. It's definitely a lot more orange in the kids' room. So definitely going all in out and out orange. And with that, I'm going to throw a few more toys into the kids' corner. Perfect, because it's got a little bit of orange in the rug, so that works in with the rest of the room, and a few more toys, and that should be ready to go for a little family moving into that house. Perfect. And then that leads us on to the bedroom, and then I think we've just got the hall entrance and the other bathroom to go. Oh, finding this bed was hard work. Like, I couldn't like decide on a color because honestly, there's not really much in the way of orange beds in this game. It was a struggle. Anyway, this one worked out really nicely. It's quite a soft orange, so I really liked that. And I thought that was that suited the single mama kind of vibe that I was going for, because it sort of has quite a nice femininity to it, which I think worked really well with the story that I had in my head. I don't always have a story in my head when I'm building. Sometimes I'm just building for building's sake, and I'm just like, you know, I just want to make something pretty. But sometimes stories do come into my head when I'm building, and that was the story that came to my head with this one. Was like, it was a single mum with a couple of kids, and yeah, this is the home that they've made for themselves here. And like in the other unit, it's a family, so a teenager and both parents. And the mum is really into gardening, and the dad, don't know what the dad does. Didn't have a picture story for him. I didn't really picture him so much. But definitely the mum was into the gardening. And the teenager was like, I don't like gardening. as the teenager does. So the room's coming together nicely. I think just about done. Then I'm just, I'm fixing up the bathroom. So we talked about that. How I started this bathroom and then it was all the wrong colours, so just bringing in a touch of the yellowy sort of orange vibe into that room. And then this is the last bathroom here, so just adding a bit more decoration because all the furnishings were in here. I just kind of added a few touches here and there, but it was basically already in place. So just adding, because we've got a toddler in the house, I definitely needed to have a potty, so put a potty in there. And some of the, you know, like the robes and the towels and then like the plant. And that is the Spa Day wooden mat, which I actually really like and I need to use more. I've actually started using that recently, so yeah, because it's one of those things that I forget about. And then moving into the hall, so I just wanted to have like a little entrance area, just with maybe a little spot to put a little bit of clutter, you know, your coat rack and your shoes and your bag and your keys and your mail and, you know, that sort of stuff, all your entranceway kind of stuff. Your umbrellas, just get to, because it's like such a narrow wall space, I couldn't really do much as far as a hall table goes, so doing the best with what I had there in terms of space, but found something in the end that worked there. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's the Spa Day cube thing. Those are the narrowest hall table options, by the way. So if you ever are looking for something narrow that can fit in a narrow space, have a look at the Spa Day hall tables. They might do the job. And just finishing off with a yellow rug, and we are done with that unit. We're moving on to unit number 2, which is our gardening unit. So I'm doing like a different colour in this unit. So I think I'm going more browns and whites from memory. I know definitely we're going more chocolate, like there's some chocolate coloured furnishings and that sort of thing there. And I'm just putting some little bits and pieces in the corner. I tried to keep like the clutter different from what we used in the other unit so that they would be unique to that particular unit. Just adding, it made sense to me to have the herbs on the wall because, again, gardening people. So I wanted to have like a little nod to gardening, and then using the Blooming Rooms kit herb thing that I always use in kitchens because I absolutely love that. And I think having fresh herbs in kitchens, a lot of people do that, so it kind of makes sense to me as a thing. So this will have like quite a lot of plants and dark furniture, opposed to the other unit, which was a lot of the lighter furniture and stuff. And I feel like these guys have a little bit more money, so I did make this a little bit more luxurious, not like luxury, but a little bit more upper market than the previous unit, where all the money sort of goes on the kids. So that, you know, they've got a nice couch and stuff like that, because, you know, their kid is now a teenager, and the teenager knows, in theory, how to take care of the furniture a little bit more. So they're not so shy about spending a little bit more money on the furnishings. When you got younger kids, I mean, it's a bit more of a risk getting nice things. Trust me, I know. Because, yeah, things get spilled and, you know, that sort of thing. So, yeah. So definitely going with the darker chocolates in the vibe for this house. And, yeah, they have a little bit more money, but, you know, they're still not wealthy or anything like that. They still can't, you know, afford their own house off on their own. But they are comfortable, you know, a little bit more comfortable. So these are the Horse Ranch chairs and couches, if you're wondering what pack those are from. And that's the Book Nook end table. And eventually a lamp, I think. Horse Ranch lamp, there we go. And then I'm just going to create like a little study kind of nook here. So using, again, the Book Nook kit and eventually a desk of some description. It took me a little while just to work out which desk I was going to do. So because I needed to work out the size of the little book thing that I was going to do. But got there eventually, and I'm just using City Living for the desk. Maybe it's a little bit big for the space, but oh, it is what it is. I did what I did. There we go. So just finding a little armchair. I actually wanted to do like a contrast color here, so I decided on these blue stripy ones from Cottage Living, because I felt like it just needed a break from the brown. And I'm going to put another one in, I think, in behind that coffee table as well, just to mix it up a little bit. Like, you know, they just needed something a little bit different in there, just to add a pop of color. So I thought that worked quite nicely, and added like a little bit more seating, and I was quite happy with that. Pretty. So moving on to the hall, we're going to get that underway. Kept it pretty simple. I mean, you don't need anything too complicated in the entranceway, particularly when it's a small one, which is basically doors anyhow. Can't fit too much in there, so managed to fit like, that's from Seasons, like the little mud room cubby coat rack thing, whatever you want to call it, and an umbrella. And I think I just need like a picture or something up there just to fill that last space. Yeah, a little mirror. Of course you need a little mirror in there just to check your hair before you go out, you know, make sure there's no food all over your face. Okay, and then moving on to the first bathroom. So this is the bathroom that had all the furnishings in place. It already had all the, like the toilet, the sink and stuff like that. And so just adding in some little extra bits and pieces. So your cabinets with like your towels and stuff on there, some plants, the what's it called? Toilet scrubber thing, toilet brush, that's the word. So just adding a little bit more life and personality to the bathroom. And once again, because this is the plant house, there is going to be plants everywhere, because, you know, the mum is a plant lover, so she's going to put plants everywhere. She can't help herself. She loves plants. She just wants the plants there. So once again, using the spa day and just a base game rug in there. So this is the first of the bedrooms. So keeping up with the dark brown furnishings again. This is Eco Lifestyle bed and the blah 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 Book Nook end tables. That's what they are. Horse Ranch lamps. And then, oh yeah, I had to find something that went with the bed. I was initially going to try the Dream Home Decorator, but ended up going, I think it's Seasons maybe. I'm not sure which. I was going to say, Eco Lifestyle. Which ones do I end up using? I don't actually remember which ones I use. Of course I use those. Those are my favourite curtains. They're from Desert Luxe. Of course I use them. I love the Desert Luxe curtains. They're lovely. So that's just a double bed. Pretty simple bedroom. There's not like a lot of space in that room. I mean, that probably could have been a single room, but I wanted to make it a double. So there we go. That's a little better. I was going to say I want the curtains on either side. Show a little bit of space. They already had the wardrobes in there, so I needed to consider something that would work with those wardrobes as well. It did take me a little while to find the things that would go well in that room as far as like wall hangings and stuff go, although that is my eternal struggle, like finding things that would go on the walls to fill the wall space. Eternal struggles. Ugh. Anyway, got there in the end. And I will keep up with the whole theme of lots of plants, because lots and lots of plants are needed when you're a plant lover, of course. So that's just from Jungle Adventure, and I can't see the other plant. I think that's, I'm not sure what that one was. I think that's the cute little one that came with something. That's such a great description. It's the cute little one that came with something. Yeah, well, of course it is. So anyway, plenty of greenery in that room, so you can tell a plant lover lives there. And then the second bedroom is definitely a single bedroom. So this is the teenager's bedroom. Bringing a bit more of the blue through, keeping up with the dark furnishings, the Desert Luxe curtains, and a few little bits and pieces from around the place. I did want to bring in, you know, sort of a teenage vibe without going overboard. And oh yeah, I did want to fit their own little study desk, because obviously they're going to be in high school, so they're going to need their little study desk. So, and their dresser as well, because teenagers, they like clothes a lot of the time. I remember as a teenager, you know, actually probably more in my 20s, I was a bit more of a clothes horse than I was as a teenager, but I think I went out more as a 20-year-old than I did as a teenager, to be fair. But clothes were still a thing that I was interested in at that age. And so it's a cute little oval mirror that I think came with high school years. I could be wrong. I wasn't paying enough attention to catch which pack that was. I was too busy thinking about my teenage years so many years ago. Back in the dinosaur ages, you know. Back when there was dinosaurs. That's when I was a teenager. So just getting a little bit of pieces of clutter there, which I thought would work. You know, you'd have like your stuff that you would normally have on a dresser, but this room just wasn't. I just realizing now that there was already a dresser in here, and I could have put like a smaller dresser with like stuff clutter on top. Anyway, oopsie. This is the outside of the build, so I've added some little bits and pieces here, the backyard, so that's obviously the gardener's unit here, and then this is the family unit here with the young kids. And then heading inside, this belongs to the family unit, so that's got the lighter, brighter white furniture. Easy to paint over, you know, if the kids draw all over it, whatever. So this is the bathroom. Kept it pretty simple, just added on the little bits of life to it. And then heading into the living area, I do have my filter on for this one. I believe it's Love Shade Vogue by Hazel Mine. If you're looking for a reshade, that is the reshade that I'm using in these pictures. So that's the kitchen, and then going through to the living area. And you can sort of see all the little touches of the kids in the house, the high chair, you know, that sort of thing. The nice bookshelf filled with games and books, and then heading into the kids' room. I think the kids' room is super cute. I love the apple on the tree. I'm sorry, but I do. And yeah, lots of orange and lots of life and colour there, which you'd expect in a kids' room. I mean, kids love colour. So that's definitely a very kidsy room. And then heading through to the grown-up single mum room, and I think this is actually really lovely. I love the touches of green and how that ties in with the orange in the room, and the dresses actually worked really nicely. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that came together. And then heading into the second unit, so this is the gardener's unit, and you can certainly see immediately the difference. It's certainly very much darker as far as the color palette goes. and there's lots of plants for sure. So this is the bathroom that was already dressed up, and then heading through to the kitchen, dining, living. You can certainly see it's a bit different from the first unit, which is good. I wanted to have unique personalities in each of the units, and lots of plants again in the kitchen, and then through to the living room. And I do like that I changed it up with a couple of blue chairs in there, just to mix it up a little bit, and the cool little study area as well, which you can sort of see the older sort of family are using all the time. I really do like that little living area. And then through to the second bathroom, through there where I kind of ruined what was supposed to be a laundry. And then through to the next bedroom, master bedroom, and the plant house, which is pretty obviously the plant house because there's plants everywhere. But it works. I think that brings a lot of life to the room. And it's very in for this season as well, having bringing the outside in. And then this is the teenagers' room here. So added like a little hobby board and some posters and stuff like that. Study area, bits of clutter. So yeah, I think it felt a little bit teenagey. I was happy with that. And that's again the final unit. And that's the end of the video. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And thank you to Lady Annette for hosting this challenge. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.